Hello and welcome back to the Lowdown, your center for all things arts and crafts in the Ohio area. I'm your producer, Tyler Hapney, and this is our final episode for the season. To start off, we have some footage that I took from my trip recently to GalaxyCon. Hello and welcome to the Lowdown. For this episode, I'm going to be covering GalaxyCon from Columbus, Ohio. We have a lot of interesting things over the next few days, including a costume contest and, of course, a Street Fighter tournament. So stay tuned and you'll be seeing some of that. Recently, I was invited along with a couple of other ZTV producers to go film at GalaxyCon 2024 in Columbus. GalaxyCon took place over a weekend in early December at the Columbus Convention Center, and to say that the convention was busy would be an understatement. Thousands of people attended, and it felt like half of them were in cosplay, and a quarter of those cosplayers were characters from Hazbin Hotel. We were able to record some pretty crazy stuff, including celebrity panels from Danny Trejo, John DiMaggio,
What do you think about that, Spencer?
George Takei, and even Kiefer Sutherland. Weird Al and Barry Bostwick were also in attendance, as well as the entire casts of Hazbin Hotel, Rick and Morty, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There weren't just panels to enjoy, however. The event also had costume contests, hundreds of vendors, a wrestling arena, and even an area for gaming. There was no shortage of things to capture at GalaxyCon 2024, and all 3 of our days there were packed from beginning to end with amazing experiences. There were 2 major costume contests we were able to spectate. The first one was the video game cosplay contest, where contestants dressed as some of their favorite video game characters. It was a stiff competition with a lot of interesting, notable costumes. They had everybody come out individually to show off their outfits before having them all gather on stage in teams. They would judge who had the best outfit on each team based on how loud the audience cheered. Then, those who won would be judged in the same way. They used the system until they had just 2 costumes left, the Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy XIV and Venom from the Marvel Universe. It seemed to be a close competition, but the Warrior of Light won out in the end because of a pair of extendable and retractable wings. The other major contest we viewed was the overall cosplay contest. This contest differed from the other one because not only did it encompass all forms of media, but the categories also came with cash prizes equaling up to $2,500. Needless to say, this competition was intense. This contest was judged not by the audience, but by a panel of professional cosplay judges who were looking not only at how a cosplay looked, but also the kind of effort and time it would take to create a costume. There are multiple categories: novice, journeyman, and master. These categories reflected how experienced the contestant was with cosplay contests. A novice was just starting out, a journeyman had likely placed in a contest before, and a master had typically won entire contests or had placed in enough categories to be considered a master. Not only were there prizes for the overall winner in those 3 categories, but there were also categories like Judge's Choice, Best Prop, and Best Original Character. There were so many contestants and winners that I could be here for the next 30 minutes talking about how many there were. Overall, though, the winner of the costume contest went to Paint Wizard, who created her outfit entirely by hand. There was also a brief intermission from Dr. Zaius from the Planet of the Apes series. Another notable presence at the convention was Toontown Rewritten, who had panels and events all 3 days, as well as a large portion of the exhibition hall dedicated entirely to something they called Toonfest. Toontown Rewritten is a fan project bringing back servers for the once defunct online game Toontown. Disney, the once owners of Toontown, have been allowing the Toontown Rewritten team to bring the game back as they please, and Toontown Rewritten has been running for years now. Toonfest is a celebration of all things Toontown. They had areas set up where somebody could sit down and enjoy Toontown on one of the many computers who were primed to play the Disney Studios classic from 2003. Not only that, but they had spaces where you could sit down and enjoy classic fun activities like Connect 4. We were also able to get in and record a round of Funny Feud, a Toontown themed play on Family Feud where teams competed to see just who was Toon enough. Our weekend at GalaxyCon was certainly an interesting one. There's so many highlights and interesting moments from the trip that it's all formed into an unforgettable experience for those who went. The sense of community, the sense of pride in one's work, especially from the cosplayers, and what seemed like an overall feeling of excitement in everybody we spoke to really rubbed off on us. It was amazing to see so many people unified in their interests, knowing that many had traveled hours or across state lines just to be there. Conventions like this are a way for a fan to connect with the people who make the content they adore. For many, it's the only opportunity they'll get to tell a creator or an actor how much their work means. All of that combines to form something like magic. The feeling of going to a convention like GalaxyCon is difficult to describe, but it's very similar to being a kid in a very large playground. That was some exciting GalaxyCon footage. Keep an eye out throughout the episode for more interviews that we got at GalaxyCon. As for now, check out this package from our very own Raju Panta.
In the heart of Akron, Ohio, a remarkable journey unfolds. The Himalayan Arts, Language and Culture Academy serves as a bridge between generations, preserving the rich traditions of Nepal and Bhutan for the next wave of cultural storytellers. At the center of this mission is Puspa Gazmer, a musician and community leader whose life journey spans continents. Born in Bhutan, raised as a refugee in Nepal, and now a proud American citizen, Puspa's passion for the arts drives this initiative. Through this nonprofit, Puspa teaches children born in the United States about their roots, fostering an appreciation for their heritage through music, language, and dance.
Namaste, I am Puspa Gazmer. I am originally from Bhutan, and back in 1990s, we were fled to Nepal, eastern part of Nepal, and I had to live there over 20 years in refugee camp. And after that, we got great opportunity to come here in US, the land of opportunity. And after that, I started going to the college, and from 2013, and I thought that music is only the one, or arts and culture is only the one that will connect people, exchange, and all these traditional things, arts, everything else. That is why I started opening, giving classes at home. And lots of my people or friends in the local areas, they supported me and they encouraged me, hey Puspa, why don't you come off, with some more vision or something else. And I started, finding the location, and I came with the name Himalayan Music Academy. Since then, it has been really good journey in the communities, providing our cultural heritage, exchange, arts and culture, music, dance, everything else in the community, and it is really good for me and all the community people. Most of the kids, they are born here, and they don't know where is Bhutan, where is Nepal, what part of this globe, and it is really helpful to whenever we teach our identity, through music and arts, language. This will really, fill up that gap. And that's why I feel pleasure or very important to teach this thing, arts and culture, to the kids. And most of the kids, they really want to learn something about, Nepali language and Nepali dance and music. So, and also parents, they really want to preserve arts and culture, promote our Nepali language and music. That's why I have been working on this for several years.
Among the dedicated educators at the Academy is Brian Kay, an accomplished American musician and teacher, a Grammy-winning artist. Brian brings a unique perspective to the classroom. Though not of a Nepali heritage, his passion for music and cultural preservation aligns perfectly with the Academy's vision to connect students with their roots.
My name is Brian Kay. I have been a musician for over 20 years. I've toured and performed all over the world. I have been teaching the drums since March of this year here at the Himalayan Academy. But I've taught music throughout my entire career. I am on the faculty at Cleveland Institute of Music and Case Western. And I have recorded music for soundtracks on Netflix, and also have a Grammy Award for some of my work that I did in 2019 on an album called Songs of Orpheus. Himalayan Arts, Language and Cultural Academy contacted me in March. Puspa reached out, and he was looking for a drum teacher, and I was looking for opportunities to teach in the community. So that's when we met. It was in March. Was when I started working here, March of 2024.
My name is Karina Official Kerma. I go to Roberts Middle School. I'm here to dance and also to play drums because when I was young, I basically was born dancing because I've been dancing from really young, and it's just a hobby that I like to do. In music, I wasn't really prepared or anything. My dad just put me in drums, and I'm just here now. That's part of it and half my hobby too.
For the students, the Academy is more than a classroom. It's a place of connection, discovery, and pride. Through traditional dance and music, guitar lessons, and cultural storytelling, they reconnect with their roots while building a foundation for future. The Academy fosters not just skills but a sense of identity. It builds a bridge between past and future, giving young minds the tools to carry their traditions forward while carving out their unique paths. For these children, it's more than learning a song, a dance, or a language. It's about discovering who they are and how their story fits into a larger narrative. It teaches us that knowing our culture isn't just about preserving the past. It's about embracing our future with confidence and pride. Because when we understand our roots, we give ourselves the strength to grow tall, reach high, and carry the legacy of those who come before us into a brighter tomorrow. The Himalayan Arts, Language and Culture Academy reminds us of the importance of preserving our culture. It's a celebration of where we come from and a pathway to where we are going. One rhythm, one step, one story at a time. Because understanding your root is the first step to embracing your future.
Wow, there's a lot of dedication at that dance school. Check out this metalsmithing tutorial from our Emily Cathers.
Hi, my name is Emily with the Lowdown, and let's start off by looking around my metalsmithing studio. This semester, I'm giving you guys a first-hand look at different metalsmithing techniques. We're gonna start with 2 different ways to utilize liver of sulfur. First, you'll see my bats. I have 2 here. I'm going to dunk the first one into the liver of sulfur, let it sit for a few moments, and then pull it out, put it in water, let that soak, and then I'm going to pull it out and scrub it with a bristle brush and repeat this for a few minutes. This continuous cycle, liver of sulfur, water, brush, and as you can see, it's beginning to darken. Next, we are going to use a Prismacolor patina with the liver of sulfur, but first we must get the item that we are coloring. We are going to use a hole punch to cut it out. As you see, I tried to hammer it before, that didn't work. That means I get to utilize a pressure punch. Then, once I have this whole tiny little circle cut out, I then get to use a sand table to sand this little circle as much as I can, using tape to hold it so that my fingers won't get scraped. And once I have done that to the best of my abilities, I will take it to the sandblaster. I will then take a Prismacolor pencil, which is where this patina gets its name. I will color it. I chose this bright magenta-ish red color. I then put my gloves back on. It is important when using liver of sulfur to wear gloves, as you saw I did with the bats, and I am now, because while this stuff has a foul odor, it can burn your hands. I'll take my little circle, dip it in the liver of sulfur, and as I'm pulling it out, take a close look at it. You will see the color smear and smudge. That means it's working. While I am at my sink, I will show you all how to clean metal once it's been in a pickle pot. But first, let me talk to you how this ring was made. As you see here, I have my Lazy Susan soldering table. I have a third arm, which helps me solder. I use it to hold my ring. Soldering requires flux, which is this metal that we put on the connecting joints of the ring before we lay down solder so that the solder can flow. And now I will clean this ring, dipping it in pummel, which is a mix of ash and baking soda. If you'll look closely, this ring is pretty clean. You'll also notice that my name is indebted in it, Emily. That is called chasing. You do it before you bend the ring, after you cut it, before you solder it. It is a fun and neat way to add a design to your ring. Now that we have colored our metals, I'm going to show you a few more techniques. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to drill a hole and how important it is that you use your center punch. How to drill a hole. The first thing you do is take your center punch so that when the drill bit goes in, it will not flail about and it knows exactly where to go. This last thing I'm going to show you is two different ways to cut metals. The first one is with a saw blade. You will use many different blades because they tend to break, as you'll see here. And then you can just use the saw blade if you're making a straight cut, which I'll show you now. You get the metal lined up perfectly, and then you pull this lever and it cuts it. As you can see, it made a clear cut and got this curved part cut out of the metal. Thank you for joining me in the metalsmithing studio at the School of Art.
That's some interesting stuff. Check out this interview from GalaxyCon.
Hello, my name is Zach Benton from the University of Akron. I'm at GalaxyCon in Columbus, and I'm here with
Joey Spatella.
Joey. Can you tell me what is your cosplay? You are cosplaying, right?
So I am Christmas Luffy. It's really nothing too special. I just got, a nice dress shirt, Luffy one-piece Christmas sweater, and then my cosplay pants and all that
very
stuff.
Drippy.
Very drippy.
I like it a lot. Have you seen the most recent One Piece film?
I have not actually. No, I'm all caught up on the anime. I'm not really caught up on the movies. The movies I kind of just stay cleared of. Cause
That's fair. Z was really good. One Piece film Z was really good. Great movie. And then Gold, in my opinion, was like a fun movie. It wasn't good, but it was fun.
It's fun. That's what I've heard. A lot of people say that it's a very fun movie. So obviously I got to give it a watch.
For sure. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing today. What do you have plans to go to a specific thing or?
So I got a One Piece meetup, cosplay meetup at 2:30 today. Me and a bunch of friends that I met at actually Fan Expo, believe it or not, earlier this year. We're all meeting up there, and then just met a few voice actors just very, very recently.
Any names?
Sonny Strait, Zach Aguilar, and speaking, I have the guitar.
We have the guitar.
So.
Oh.
So this is a special One Piece guitar that I'm getting signed by a lot of the voice actors. So Sonny was the first one kind of on that list, and then you flip it over.
And would you remind who is Sonny? Who is Sonny voice?
Usopp from One Piece.
Thank you. For the viewers, of course. For the viewers.
Yeah, and then obviously David Aguilar, who voices David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So that's one of my personal favorite shows of all time.
Was it crazy meeting him?
It was a little. I'm like, it's great meeting him just because I love talking about, I love asking, voice actors, if there's like anything specific, like the direction that they went, if like how they got introduced to the, material, all that stuff. So, for the most part, I like talking to them just because it's just great to, meet all these guys. So, that's why I love going to conventions too. It's fun. It's very chaotic, especially when you're waking up at 7 in the morning.
Yes.
You have a 2-hour car ride all the way down here. Parking's atrocious.
You said that you were from where did you?
Cleveland State. I go to Cleveland State University.
So that was a little bit of a drive for sure.
It's a little bit of a drive. It's about 2 hours, two-ish hours.
2-ish hours. That's about. I think we were close to 2 hours as well.
Yeah.
Would you mind? Do you have any closing thoughts? What are you thinking? What are your closing thoughts?
I mean, if I had to say one thing about just conventions as a whole, to people who are just like uncertain about conventions, whether you've heard good things or bad things, I always say it's always the unity. It's always about coming together as a whole collective group. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, whether political issues aside and all that. You all come together for one reason or another, whether it be a fandom, whether it be a favorite show that you watch, a favorite character that you like to dress up as. It's a whole collective community, and I love cosplay because it just brings us more together as not only as a collective whole, but just as just one person too. So,
all right, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this interview with us.
Wow, that was an interesting video. Let's check out this package on the Bluecoats made by Hayden Robertson.
Bluecoats were founded in 1972 in Canton, Ohio by Arden Trunkenrod and Canton police officers Babe Stern and Ralph McCauley. Named in honor of the city's police officers, the Corps faced financial struggles in their early years but made their competitive debut in 1974. Their resistance paid off when they reached DCI World Championship Finals for the first time in 1987, finishing in the 11th place. This marked the beginning of their rise in the competitive marching world. In 2010, the Bluecoats earned their first medal, a bronze, with their show Metropolis, The Future Is Now. This performance showcased their potential to compete with the best. In 2014, they captivated the audience with Tilt, earning a silver medal and pushing the boundaries of drum corps shows.
The Bluecoats.
once again in 2024 with the show Changes Everything. Beyond the competition, the Bluecoats are dedicated to education and outreach to the Bluecoats School of Arts. Their programs and clinics help young musicians and performers develop skills inspiring the next generation of marching arts enthusiasts. Live by mottos such as innovate, inspire, achieve, and once a Bluecoat, always a Bluecoat. The guiding principle reflects their commitment to excellence in the community. The Bluecoats' journey from a small struggling corps to a two-time DCI World Champion is a testament to resilience, creativity, and passion. The Bluecoats have constantly been the top contenders in DCI. They placed second in 2014, 2019, 2021, 2022, and 2023. They've also secured third place finishes in 2010, 2015, and 2018. Their legacy continues to inspire performers and fans alike. Thank you for joining us on this trip down memory lane. Remember, Blue for life.
Now that we know about the Bluecoats, let's check out a package on the Cathedral of Tomorrow by Elijah Heckler.
I always used to drive by the large brown tower in Cuyahoga Falls and think, that's such an odd spot for a smokestack. Turns out, it's not a smokestack at all, but a church. Or at least, it was supposed to be.
Of a bunch of empty words, did you let your light shine? Did you let your light shine? Well, don't you try.
See, in 1971, Rex Humbard planned on building a rotating tower restaurant in the likes of the Calgary Tower with the dual purpose of acting as a transmission tower for his proposed local TV station. Born Alpha Rex Emmanuel Humbard on August 13, 1919 in Little Rock, Arkansas, Rex Humbard was an American television evangelist. He was born into Pentecostal evangelism and was the first evangelist to have a weekly television program that was broadcasted nationwide in America. His program ran from 1952 to 1983, and his $4 million Cathedral of Tomorrow church was built in none other than Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, in 1958. The church was built specifically to house a TV crew, equipment, and seating in the style of an auditorium to display performances. Rex ran a successful program, so successful that he wanted to build the aforementioned rotating tower restaurant right at the site of his Cathedral of Tomorrow church. Towering over the church would be a beautiful tourist site, a building that would raise up the community, literally, and cause people to flock from states away. The plan was for the tower to be 750 feet tall, which would have been the tallest building in Ohio at the time of its construction, surpassing the Terminal Tower in Cleveland. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which resident of Cuyahoga Falls you asked at the time, the building's construction halted at 494 feet, just 2 months after the first ground was broke, and it remained at that height until today. So what happened? Why did the construction of such a promising project come to a sudden, grinding halt? Well, there's several reasons cited. One, many neighbors of the project filed lawsuits not wanting this restaurant tower to be near them. Another lawsuit came from Northampton Township, the region that governed the tower at the time of its construction, claiming Rex had no provisions that allowed water and sewer service to the tower. The most glaring reason cited was that Rex was caught up in some nasty legal financial trouble. He was accused around the time of construction of selling bonds and promissory notes through his own team of salesmen. These securities were not registered, and this caught the eye of the SEC. the Security Acts of 1933 had two basic objectives: to require that investors receive financial and other significant information concerning securities being offered for public sale, and to prohibit deceit, misrepresentations, and other fraud in the sale of securities. Ultimately, this requires companies to disclose their important financial information through the registration of securities. Although Rex claimed the ministry was not missing any payments and the investors were perfectly satisfied, he was still forced to sell nearly all of the ministry's assets, including paying back $12 million in unsecured bonds. A couple years later, in 1973, it was announced by Humbert that there were new, scaled-back plans for the tower, saying it would be home to a museum, library, and prayer center. 1978 came around with no known plans on the horizon for the tower. Rex has been quoted as saying, "Someday we'll finish it, and it will be a landmark." 1989 came around, and the tower was officially sold to Mike Krieger, owner of the local grocery shop Krieger's, with the rest of the cathedral having been sold 5 years prior to another televangelist, Ernest Angley. The building's current fate? A telephone tower towering over the Burger King in Cuyahoga Falls. While Rex's tower didn't exactly become the Calgary Tower-inspired pinnacle of prayer, community, and fine dining like he intended it to be, at least it's found a purpose other than being a brown tower that looks like a smokestack. Hey, at least it's the tallest building in Cuyahoga Falls. Thank you for watching my informational episode on Rex Humbert's planned Cathedral of Tomorrow tower in Cuyahoga Falls. I hope you enjoyed, and it would be great if you liked this video and hit subscribe for ZTV. Thank you, see you next time.
Wow, Cuyahoga Falls is an interesting place. Let's finish the episode off with one last interview from GalaxyCon.
I'm here with
Jace the boss.
Jace the boss. Sweet. Jace the boss, tell me a little bit about what you're doing here at GalaxyCon.
All right, well, I came here to go to some panels, see some AEW, talk to some beautiful cosplay women, and play some Street Fighter 6.
I like it. Are you pretty good at Street Fighter?
Yeah, I am pretty good, but the past two guys I played with ran through me like Ric Flair in a one-night stand, so.
No worries. I think you're probably gonna take the win on these next ones, right? How much do you get to play? Do you keep going, or?
Yeah, well, I play quite a bit. I started playing World Tour mode because I just loved it. I love making my own guy and going through the story, but I could not beat the wrestler guy in the big tournament. So I was just sitting there a month trying to play that, and then it threw me off of my my regular playtime. And I've never really played rank. I've always played casual because that's just the kind of guy I am.
Are you playing, you said ranked, it's making me think of Fortnite. Are you playing Fortnite at all?
Quite a bit. Me and the boys hop in some Fortnite,
Are you playing OG? Are you playing OG?
I don't know. I think it's kind of silly how they're milking people's memories. And
That's real.
So making something new.
Honestly, do you want to talk about that? Tell me, what do you think about what you just said there? Let me just phrase this into a question real quick for you. So what he just said was that he believes that people are, can you rephrase that for us? You believe that people are having their memories milked.
Yeah,
I love that phrase.
Their memories exploited for a quick buck instead of the companies actually trying to make something new.
And do you think that goes beyond just the gaming industry? Does that go into the other aspects of the entertainment industry?
You could say, like, one of the big examples is bringing Saturday Night Main Event back. A lot of superhero movies will do this, like every movie has to be a cameo extravaganza.
Right.
And stuff like that. Mario was very infamous for doing this. They always had a 3D a Mario sprite or something like that in the game.
Right.
And I think the companies just be more creative. It's good to have a few callbacks every now and then. Like, there's some stuff that's really good with that, like Sonic Generations. But I feel like with companies in general, it's just kind of a way of avoiding making something new.
Right. What is your very favorite thing to watch? Last thoughts, closing thoughts. What is your very favorite thing to watch?
In the world?
Anything at all. Favorite entertainment.
Comic books and pro wrestling.
All right. What's your favorite hero? Last thing.
Wally West the Flash.
Wally West the Flash. There you have it. Awesome. Right. Thank you so much for talking with us. We appreciate it. Do you want to plug anything?
Plug anything? Okay. So you should probably add me on my Instagram, Jace_316. And then also, me and my homies are going to be starting up a channel. I might post that in there. And add me on Twitter, JSTheBoss69. Literally, I only have one post. But yeah, also me and some friends. We are starting, in the future, we may be starting up our own indie comic company.
All right.
It's called Arcade Productions. So we may look at that and yeah, taking over the world, you know what I'm saying?
All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Thanks for talking to us.
This has been The Lowdown. Thank you so much for sticking with us this season, and I hope you look forward to next season where we have just as many exciting things to show you. As for now, I'm Tyler Hapney, and this has been The Lowdown.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.